Now I'd like to invite Governor Hochul to the podium because, you know, there was two pieces of this. There was an important piece of legislation passed in the United States Congress, but there was also an important piece of legislation initiated by the governor to make this finally happen. Governor, the podium is yours.
Good morning, Central New York. No, it's afternoon, isn't it? Just seeing if you're awake. I know some of you have been here since this morning, and I appreciate your patience. I just catching it, see if you're paying attention here. It is so fabulous to be here. I have waited for this day for so long, and I'm so grateful to have extraordinary partners, people in the private sector, labor community, and in government. And that does start with our very own, once a resident of Syracuse, New York, when he was a student at the law school, our president, President Joe Biden. I want to thank him for coming to town, not for a law school reunion, but a reunion of upstate with the glorious past of its manufacturing legacy. That's what the reunion is going on right here today. And then we've waited our lives for this. We have waited such a long time to finally have that sense of hope again, and it happened again. And I want to thank the president and Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. If he had not been the Majority Leader, we would not be sitting here today, I guarantee that. We needed the Democrats to get this over the finish line, and I do thank Senator Gillibrand and all the other senators who teamed up on this. And in New York State, knowing how important this was to our state, I thank the entire Democratic congressional delegation and the two Republicans, John Katko and Chris Jacobs of Buffalo, for being the two who supported it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful you stood up. I'm grateful at least you stood up. And Sanjay Mehrotra, I cannot believe the relationship that we've had just over this last year. Our shared values and how we can work together, the private sector and government, saying we can work together to just build and energize a community that had been forgotten for so long. I know you're doing this because you want to continue to be the world's greatest manufacturer of semiconductor chips, and you will be, and you're going to do it here. But what you have done to my community, to my state, is something I will go to my grave grateful for, because you transformed a state that for a while had given up believing in itself. So Sanjay, to you and all your partners at Micron, everybody from Micron, we love you. We're so grateful you're here. You've been extraordinary. Since Micron, stand up, Micron. How do you spell hope in New York? It's M-I-C-R-O-N. That's how you spell hope, M-I-C-R-O-N. We are grateful to you. And I remember my first weeks as governor, just a little over a year ago. Kevin Eunice came to me, and I want to thank him personally, because this was the job, Empire State Development. He said, we have an opportunity. There's these guys from Idaho, a company. They're going to look around the country for an opportunity to expand. I said, how big is this? It's the biggest deal in Americans' history. I said, really? Sounds a little big, Kevin. But I said, bring him into my office. Let's see what this is all about. So we had a meeting. We had a chance to talk about what I knew about upstate, because I'm from upstate. I happen to be the first upstate governor in 100 years. I know upstate New York. And I lived through the tough years. I knew what it was like when unemployment was 15%, when all the members of my big Irish Catholic family, who grew up in an area called Lackawanna in Buffalo. And Buffalo, here we go. The Bills are doing pretty good too. Grandpa made steel. My dad made steel. My uncles made steel. But in 1982, when all those jobs went away, my brothers and sisters couldn't find work. Unemployment was 15% where I came from. And it was all over upstate New York. We lost those jobs to Japan and China, the Southwest. The phrase in my community was, last one out the door, turn out the lights. That's what we told our kids. Our greatest export were our children. I lived through that. That's in my soul. I know what happened to a state and to a community because the businesses gave up on us. We didn't give up on them. We were still the same people. We still wanted the dignity of a good job. We wanted our union members to continue working and making things like they had for generations, but the jobs were gone back then. So when I saw an opportunity with Micron knocking on the door saying, "What can you offer?" we said, "We're not losing this one. This is just too big. This is how we can regain that sense of exceptionalism that we've always had as New Yorkers. It's who we are. We build things, we grow things, we imagine things." And I knew we couldn't let this one go, and we worked hard, and I'm so grateful to have partnered with Chuck Schumer through every inch of this to get it done at the federal level. But once it was done at the federal level, that meant there'd be incentives for companies to come back from other countries, build the industry here in the United States. But what would lead them to New York? Because everybody's saying, "Oh, it's not the place you want to build a business. Oh, no, they're not so friendly." I said, we're going to prove them wrong. And what we had to do, we went to the legislature, and I thank Al Sturpey, our Assemblyman, for being the quarterback who got this one into the end zone with the legislature. I thank Jeremy Cooney. I thank Majority Leader Andre Stewart-Cousins. I thank the Speaker, Carl Heastie, and everybody who stood up and says, "We can do this." Now, there were some naysayers. "Oh, no, what are you doing here? Not sure about this one." I said, "I don't care. I don't care. I'm not losing this one. This is not happening under my watch." And we got through with the support of the legislature, the Green Chips Act, that gave us that extra leverage to say, I go back to Sanjay, I go back to Micron, I said, "Yes, you're going to do something in America, but you can do it in New York. And we're going to give you the best educated workforce, the most incredibly innovative people from all the walks of life up here. The people who are being educated in world-class universities." And I know that working together, our Green Chips bill, which puts an emphasis on sustainability, you're going to be a model for every other business in the world when you're done. And we're focused on the $500 million community investment plan that you've made, because we asked for it, and I'm thank you. We said we can build up child care so moms can get to jobs. We can do apprenticeship training. We can get kids in underserved communities that chance of an opportunity that they never would have had, that their parents didn't have. That's how we build the New York dream, and it's happening before our eyes. That is what is so energizing. So those who gave up on this state a long time ago, oh, you didn't make the bet in the right place, because it's happening here. I'm getting phone calls right now from companies all over this country who are saying, "Tell me about New York. Tell me about this whole ecosystem." We don't need to be a Silicon Valley or a triangle down in North Carolina. This is not just CHIPS corridor. This is CHIPS country. This is New York State, and we're going to build it here in New York. And I am so excited to be able to turn the page on history that was dark and hard for many of us for so long. This is a new era, my friends. This is a new day. This is New York. Thank you very much.